Magic the Gathering is a card game that's always changing. Wizards of the Coast, the company that creates Magic, makes decisions every day on where to take it, how to market it, how to keep it interesting, how to help it evolve. Basically anything you can think of, Wizards of the Coast has to do to keep Magic exciting and, most importantly, thriving. In this video, we're going to talk about what Wizards of the Coast can do in 2017 to help foster excitement and growth in Magic. Obviously, this is from the view of an outsider, but after seeing literally thousands upon thousands of comments on ways the Magic experience can be enhanced, I think as a community we've come up with a few key aspects of the game Wizards can improve upon. If you like this topic and enjoy the video, be sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. One last thing before we get started, in no way is this an attack on Wizards employees. I know many people who work there and they care more about the game than almost anyone. So be civil in the comments. No need to talk crap about the people who have dedicated their lives to making this game fun for all of us. We're all in this for the same reason, because we love Magic. We'll begin with how to help existing players. It's no secret that Friday Night Magic attendance has been down this season. That's why standard showdown packs were a thing. That's why there's been so much focus on getting out to F&M. The flagship Magic the Gathering event is hurting, so to make it better, what should Wizards do? Give more tangible and juicy incentives. How many of you remember the Magic Player Rewards system? Promo cards were sent to players who played in enough DCI-sanctioned tournaments. It started over a decade ago with promotional tokens that were really difficult to find otherwise. Eventually, the program graduated to textless and foil promos. These were designed to get players to go to tournaments, enter events, basically incentivize players to attend everything. It was discontinued back in 2010 due to the program being financially inefficient. So now when you attend events, you get a promo. A good promo? Nope. Something completely useless. Here are some of the promos printed in the last 6 months. You can't tell me that players are going to rush out of their homes and go down to F&M this coming February to win a promo Fortune's Favor. No one cares about that. And while March's Incendiary Flow is a tad bit better, why can't we have Aether Hub as an F&M promo? Or Thraben Inspector? Or Reflector Mage? How about Harness Lightning? Can you imagine how much more excited players would be to go to F&M if they knew they were fighting for a promo Aether Hub? Come on, that's exciting as all heck. If you want to get players into the store for F&M, give them a little push, better promos. There are many companies that believe that bringing in new business is more important than keeping existing business. To be completely honest with you, both are valuable, and Wizards of the Coast needs to keep that in mind. Existing players are why they have the money to try and get new players at all. So with that in mind, 2017 needs to be a year that helps existing players. With the creation of Frontier, more products than ever, more expensive products than ever, and an increasingly anxious user base, something has to give. Cards are too expensive, products are too expensive. Planechase Anthology was way too expensive at MSRP. You want to help players get into Modern, but Modern Masters packs are still $10 each, and boxes are north of $200. And even when these limited print run sets do lower individual prices, sometimes it isn't enough. Tarmogoyf is still $100 a piece in a format that's supposed to be inviting for newer players who want in on a non-rotating format. Look at Noble Hierarch. That's been printed at Rare multiple times, and it's still above $50 each. Tarmogoyf could be printed again at Rare, and it's not like it would be worth $20. This worry about the maintenance of value, I understand it, I do. But at the same time, something has to give. At what point do they decide that it's worth it to tank a few staples to make the format more accessible? It's a simple concept. If Wizards of the Coast wants more people to play their game, buy their products, and attend their events, they need to make the game more accessible on all levels. So why did I say all of that? To drill home my main point. In 2017, we need more reprints. We need better reprints, and we need more applicable reprints. We need more reprints more often. Afraid of Liliana of the Veil being too powerful for Standard? Fine. Print Modern Masters 2017, but put it in Target and Walmart. Charge $5 a pack. Make it accessible. A choice has to be made. Either more players will attend more events because the game is more accessible, or less players will attend less events because the game is less accessible. Direct correlation. And while I understand that Magic is a hobby and not a necessity, if Wizards of the Coast wants more people to attend events, lowering the bar to entry is literally what they have to do to make it happen. And that's all I have to say about that. In 2017, as weird as it sounds, Wizards of the Coast has to release fewer products. I know, calm down, let me explain. This past year brought us a ton of new product, most of it amazing. They really knocked it out of the park this year, but that in itself is a bit of a problem. There wasn't enough time to appreciate everything. Do you remember this past summer? Do you remember the preview season for From the Vault lore? It was a trick question, there wasn't one. They released the entire lineup in a single day. We're talking From the Vault lore. There could have been an awesome story-based article revealing one card each day for a couple weeks at least. Because of this, most of you didn't even know lore was releasing. When we made the video, there were more questions about the set itself than its contents. It came out of nowhere mere weeks after Eldritch Moon released and the Pro Tour took place. But From the Vault lore, that wasn't even the biggest victim. Conspiracy Take the Crown, one of the most hyped sets in years, was crammed in at the end of a standard season and released a week before Kaladesh preview season began. Despite the set's genius design, applauded innovation, and spectacular reprint list, we had to move on within 2 weeks. Barely enough time to even get 2 weeks of F&M play out of it. Conspiracy was squeezed from both sides, coming out only a week after From the Vault lore released. What worries me, and many others, is that Wizards will see that Conspiracy Take the Crown didn't garner as much attention as they wanted, and they won't commission a Conspiracy 3. That would be the true nightmare, because in all honesty, Conspiracy was the best set to come out this year. But something Wizards of the Coast needs to do in 2017? Print less stuff! Give these products some time to breathe. Shadows over Innistrad into Eternal Masters, into Eldritch Moon, into From the Vault lore, into Conspiracy, into Kaladesh? It's too much too quickly. I'm sure there's a market for all of it, but the value on each individual set isn't getting its fair due. Just spread it out a little more, that's it. Bringing new blood into the game is vital for success. You need new players to economically offset older players leaving the game, and you just need new players to grow Magic. In this regard, at least at a basic level, Wizards is doing alright. This year alone, Wizards has sponsored videos by the following YouTubers. Unlisted Leaf, a Pokemon YouTuber with 1.3 million subscribers. Boogie2988, a gaming and comedy channel with almost 4 million subscribers. The Yogscast, a gaming collective with over 7 million subscribers on their main channel alone, and many more. And if we're talking outreach, it's clear Wizards knows where the eyeballs are, the internet. So for all intents and purposes, they are doing decently well on this front. Of course, with more digital traffic, you can imagine the want for a digital version of Magic is growing. The problem? Most of these new players are met with either Magic Duels or Magic the Gathering Online as options. Magic Duels is a nice free introduction to the game, but it's far from perfect, riddled with bugs, and doesn't really capture everything Magic has to offer. It isn't really the full game, which is why you don't see anyone streaming or making videos about it. That leaves players with Magic the Gathering Online. Now, I could make an entire video about Magic Online, I could go on forever, but for the sake of this video, I won't. To be frank, Magic Online is suboptimal. It isn't aesthetically pleasing, it's quite expensive for most, it isn't intuitive, user-friendly, or even stable sometimes. Combining the lackluster functionality, the awful user interface, and terrible aesthetic, you can see why Magic Online isn't all that popular on both YouTube and Twitch. So what can Wizards do to make this better in 2017? Tell us more about Magic Digital Next. Revealed at a Hasbro investor conference, Magic Digital Next is meant to close the gap between Magic Duels and Magic the Gathering Online. While we know very little, this is supposedly the middle ground between the two games. Apparently they've been working on this for a while now, but if Wizards wants MTG to be taken seriously as an esport, it actually has to be electronic. And Magic Digital Next is the best thing Wizards can do in 2017 to help bring in new players. And by that I mean tell us anything. Release a statement, some screenshots, anything. Because right now, Twitch.tv, the biggest streaming site in the entire world, is hiring a full-time esports program manager for Magic the Gathering content. And if their job is to convince people to watch Magic Online, then we have a problem. The game isn't even compatible with a Mac, for goodness sake. In a world where people are being introduced to Magic and Hearthstone at the same time, Magic has to level the digital playing field somehow if it wants to bring in some new blood. The very last thing Wizards needs to work on in 2017, coverage. Cover more events. I know it costs money, I know it isn't easy, but publicity is everything, and if you're going to get paper Magic out there more, coverage is a necessary part of that. The only time Magic the Gathering even gets premier publicity and numbers on Twitch is when a big event is going on. And to Wizards' credit, they do have a solid batch of coverage set up for early 2017. But it's important that continues throughout the year. If there's a Grand Prix somewhere and it's the only big event that weekend, it should be covered without a second thought. So what do you think Wizards needs to do in 2017 to help Magic? I'd love to hear what you have to say, but please be civil in the comments and let me know that way. We'll talk about it. Just remember, we all love this game and want what's best for it, so try not to freak out. We're all here for the same reason. Also, if you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know. We're trying new things every day. As always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.